What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new playthrough of a brand new fighting fantasy book on our series on our channel. This is the latest book by Ian Livingstone, The Dungeon on Blood Island. It's only been out for a few days at this point. It's been out at least 4 days. There's not going to be that many people who've played this one. We're fresh to this. This is a sequel to Death Trap Dungeon, and I'm going to guess the other ones are Trial of Champions and the second book, I can't remember what they're called, but I've heard that you don't really have to have read all of the trilogy of the dungeon ones, so this is going to be a fresh story which is a continuation of Death Trap Dungeon. So without further ado, we're going to read the back and give you a little synopsis, and then we're going to get straight into this book. So it's going to be a pretty straightforward fantasy one this time, so let's just get straight into it.
No spells.
You got to check the cover as well, because it's a really cool cover. So I don't know what that creature is, but he's got a weird runic symbol on his head. So exciting times, new book, new adventures. Exactly.
Very exciting.
So let's go.
Do you want me to read the back?
Yes.
Jealous of Baron Succumvit's death trap dungeon, Lord Carnust forced 600 shackled souls to build the ultimate dungeon on Blood Island. He filled the labyrinth with savage creatures and deadly traps, and offered the fabled prize of the golden orb of Fang to any brave adventurer who could find it and escape from the dungeon alive.
So this is like the Jurassic World. This is like someone else is trying to remake Jurassic Park, but even worse.
But it's a dungeon with traps and no dinosaurs.
Oh, you never know. Last 3 books have had a dinosaur in, I swear.
Map.
Okay, do you want to show the map?
Is this the map for this book?
No, I think that's the whole map of Alancia.
We will definitely be trying to map.
Yeah,
this
so we're going to
properly.
hopefully map this with page numbers and what we find like straight away, so we know exactly what to do if we do die.
Okay, it's a very long intro.
Yeah, very long, so we're going to give you the glimpse of the story in 15 pages of intro, but we're going to take it in turns, so...
Want me to start?
Yeah, you go.
The fame and glory that Death Trap Dungeon had brought Baron Succumvit was something his brother, Lord Carnus, just couldn't bear. People were in awe of the Baron and never stopped talking about his annual dungeon contest in Fang and the heroes who died trying to win the prize of 10,000 gold pieces. Lord Carnus even sent his own battle-hardened champion to compete in the Trial of Champions, but he died a gruesome death along with everyone else. One year, a brave adventurer unexpectedly won through, so Baron Succumvit rebuilt his dungeon and doubled the prize to 20,000 gold pieces,
Nice.
which simply added to his notoriety. Whenever Death Trap Dungeon came up in conversation, Lord Carnus would fly into a rage, cursing his brother's name out loud. Over time, his jealousy turned into hatred. To upstage Succumvit, there's a fly in here, Carnus decided to build a dungeon of his own on Blood Island, where he ruled, and offer an even greater prize to the victim. That prize would be the golden orb of Fang, which he'd won from his brother in a dice game many years before. The orb's value was difficult to estimate, but some say that at auction in Shazar, a bid of 25,000 gold pieces for such a legendary treasure would be the minimum expected. Carnus revelled in the idea of offering a reward that was once his brother's prized possession. His plan was to hide the orb deep inside the dungeon and protect it with deadly traps and ferocious monsters. He was certain the orb would never be found. His message to contestants would be simple: find the orb, escape from the dungeon, and the prize would be theirs to keep.
Okay. Carnus built his dungeon by linking the underground caverns on Blood Island with a labyrinth of tunnels. That sounds good. Work began in secret using an army of slaves. It took less than a year to build, but at a cost of nearly 600 shackled souls. It was finished in time for the grand opening on the 31st day of fire, just weeks before Baron Succumvit's Trial of Champions took place in his reconstructed Death Trap Dungeon. Knowing his brother would be incensed by the news, Carnus sent a personal messenger to him, inviting him to enter a champion of his own to try and win back his precious orb, or just to come as his guest to watch the greatest winner take all tournament in Alancia. Outraged by his brother's attempt to usurp him by offering the orb as a prize, Succumvit sent the messenger back to Blood Island with an exceptionally rude note, written in blood, stuffed in the mouth of a dead rat. Amused and encouraged, Karnas sent word to all the towns in Alancia to announce that his dungeon on Blood Island would be open for all comers to the Golden Orb. He chartered a fleet of boats to ferry contestants and spectators to the island from the mainland. He built taverns and rooms for spectators close to the Arena of Death, where the contest would begin. News of the contest spread quickly. It soon became the talking point in every tavern and market square in Alancia. Adventurers, warriors, and villains from far and wide bragged that they would go to Blood Island to win the Golden Orb. You hear about the tournament on Blood Island from a merchant in Scar, where you have come to sell a bronze sword that you found on an expedition to Kalong Marshes. With 5 gold pieces from its sale in your pocket, you are thinking about travelling to Fang to sign up for the Trial of Champions, but are intrigued by this new dungeon challenge on Blood Island. You walk down to the port where you see a crowd of people gathered in front of a small ship moored at the dock. The ship's captain is addressing the crowd, which is becoming increasingly noisy. This afternoon we sail to Blood Island, where only the bravest warriors will compete for the orb, he bellows. All you have to do to enter the contest to win the Lord Karnas' Golden Orb is step aboard my ship and sign up. And those of you who just wish to watch the contest, step aboard and sail with us. So now the correct order is Death Trap Dungeon, this book, then Trial of Champions. So that's good then for us. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Hey Winter!
Hey Winter. What's the other book? There's 3 books in the trilogy, right? Well, obviously there's a trilogy, but there's 3 Death Trap Dungeon books, right? Is it armies or something?
Winning a prize worth 25,000 gold pieces seems unimaginable, and it's a challenge you cannot resist. Without further thought, you raise your arm and push your way through the crowd to walk up the gangplank to sign up for the contest. You're followed on board by a ruddy-faced dwarf who also signs up to take the challenge. The captain shakes your hand firmly before welcoming more than 50 passengers aboard who want to witness the spectacle for themselves. When the ship sets sail, all the passengers talk about is the dungeon and its monsters, and whether any of the contestants would survive. The dwarf introduces himself to you as Thump, that's a good name for a dwarf, and gives you a soft punch on the arm to emphasise his name. He's a stout man.
Punching back full force in the face.
It's actually a child with a beard. He's a stout man with a long beard and a studded iron helmet pulled down over his big, bushy eyebrows. He's wearing a leather tunic and holding a huge warhammer with a handle that is almost as long as he is. He tells you he comes from Stonebridge.
So you got Gillibrand's hammer?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. This is Thump.
He's from Stonebridge, though.
He tells you he comes from Stonebridge, a village that was almost destroyed by marauding iron giants. He says that if he won the Golden Orb, he would pay for Stonebridge to be
this
rebuilt.
Is after the Shadow of the Giants.
He spends the voyage telling you tales of his many adventures, most of which seem widely exaggerated. When you question him about his claim that he once killed a dragon with his bare hands, he leans back and roars, well, maybe not entirely barehanded, but why spoil a good story with the truth? Thump is a jovial, larger-than-life character, and you can't help but like him. I hope he doesn't die.
We'll see.
But it does feel slightly strange knowing that you will soon be competing with him for the Golden Orb. Calm seas, a following wind, and sunny skies make for a pleasant voyage, and when Blood Island is spotted on the horizon, a loud cheer erupts on board. As the ship sails into the harbour, you see a large crowd of people waving from the dock, eager to see the new contestants. There's a carnival atmosphere with people laughing and cheering, trumpets blaring, and drums beating loudly. Picture.
First image of the day.
This is
Hey Miso, how are you doing?
Hey Miso!
That's right, you plays the winner from Trial of Champions in Army of Darkness, but isn't set in a dungeon. I think Armies of Darkness is the one that the guys at Fighting Fantasy Fest who were doing the foreign books were saying they were changing the mechanics to make all 3 of the books like interconnect, and you could like do something differently with the armies in the end. Yeah, Armies of Death, I thought it was. Armies of Darkness is Evil Dead 3.
I was gonna say that sounds like an Evil Dead. Yep.
Yeah, you already showed the picture?
I showed it.
Kind of looks like Loki or something.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Standing quietly surveilling the scene up from a wooden platform set back from the crowded dock is a tall, stocky man wearing an elaborate headpiece and long purple robes filled out with huge shoulder pads. It's Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He seems to be quietly enjoying the moment. He is surrounded by stern-faced guards who push back anybody who tries to get close to the platform. A trumpet sounds, and when he raises his arms, the crowd falls silent. The ship's captain orders you and Thump to follow him off the ship and walk through the crowd to the platform, where the captain bows to the robed man. Lord Carnus. So is he Lord Carnus?
Yes.
I bring you 2 more contestants, he says sharply. The robed man thanks the captain and glares at you and Thump before turning to address the throng. Citizens and honoured guests, I have good news to share with you. We now have 120 contestants ready to compete. I wonder which one, if any, will triumph, he says, teasing the cheering crowd. He snaps his fingers at the guard and growls, Feed and water these 2 wretches. They will need all their strength for the contest tomorrow. You are taken to a camp where groups of contestants are huddled together, talking. Some are practicing their weapon skills, others are asleep, arms folded, leaning back against wooden cabins. They're a grisly mix of warriors, barbarians, knights, thieves, ninjas.
Ninjas.
Yeah, there's a ninja in Death Trap Dungeon, remember?
Yeah, I do.
Dwarves, elves, man-orcs, pirates, adventurers, and thugs who stare at you coldly as you walk into camp. Thump whispers in your ear, suggesting that 2 of you should stick together, at least until the tournament starts. You spend the rest of the afternoon exercising and sharpening your sword. Thump swings his warhammer around his head and smashes it into the ground, practicing that move many times. I think I'll use my warhammer to fight the next dragon I meet, he says with a wink.
Love Thump. What's my best one?
Yeah. What about Thrum?
Oh yeah, I love Thump too.
It's feeling very what's it called? Squid Games at the minute.
Yeah.
Squid Game vibes.
When the sun starts to go down, you're led to the long wooden tables that are piled high with bowls of food. You sit down to feast on vegetable soup, spit roast chicken, grilled fish, cheese, fruit, and honey. Enjoy your dinner, a guard shouts. It will probably be your last. After the meal, you're taken to a log cabin which you share with 9 others, and told that you will be woken at sunrise to receive further instructions. A bell tolls at dawn and Carnus's guards barge into your cabin, yelling at everyone to get up. When all the contestants are assembled outside, Lord Carnus enters the camp and walks slowly up the steps of a small rostrum to address you. Welcome, today is your day of destiny. Look around at your fellow contestants. Do they look stronger than you? Do they look quicker than you? Do they look smarter than you? Do you think you could defeat them in combat? As you can see, there are 120 contestants, all of you hoping to win the golden orb. Do you think that 120 contestants are too many to enter my dungeon? If you do, well, you're right. You will now be escorted to the arena of death, where an elimination contest will take place.
Listening along whilst reading through my new copy of Out the Pit, awesome, dude.
Oh, I saw you post that before. You will compete against one another until just 12 contestants remain who will have earned the right to enter my dungeon. I call it my Dungeon of Despair. It's filled with deadly creatures, lethal traps, and horrific surprises, he says with a beaming smile. Of the final 12, 11 will most likely perish in the dungeon, so only 12 of us get through.
There was only like 3 last time, though.
So it was
Maybe
more.
5.
And perhaps all 12. But with good fortune, wise decision-making, and skillful combat, one of you might win through to claim the old golden orb as your prize today. Be brave and be strong. May your swords be sharp and your wits sharper. With his solemn words ringing in your ears, you watch Lord Carnus leave the camp with his entourage following at a respectful distance. Here we go. I'm losing my voice now.
So, first picture is all the boys
Lord
getting
Carnus
ready.
doesn't muck about.
You are marched into the Arena of Death, which is a high-walled amphitheatre with a sand-covered floor and a bank of spectator seats circling the arena wall. With the spectator seats empty, an eerie silence prevails. The captain of the guard orders you to line up in 12 columns of 10. You'll do everything I tell you to do. Stand to attention and do not move until Lord Carnus is seated, he shouts, barking his orders. Without another word, he turns and leaves the arena. The hours pass, but Lord Carnus fails to appear. By mid-afternoon, the sun is unbearably hot. You see that you are not the only one who is suffering in the heat. All the contestants are perspiring heavily, and some are swaying on their feet. You glance to your left and see Thump, who's grimacing but looking determined not to fail. You have a splitting headache, your mouth is bone dry, and you are desperate to quench your thirst. Lose 1 stamina point. If you want to take a sip of water from your flask, turn to 56. You want to remain standing for attention, turn to 323. So it's clearly a trap.
Yeah, we gotta keep standing. Although he didn't say
fail.
don't drink water.
He said, don't move, didn't he?
Oh, okay.
Do not move until Lord Carnus. So we're not falling for that one. So we need to lose a stamina point. These are our stats, by the way. 18 was our stamina. So skill 10, stamina 18, and luck 10. So.
Oh, time passes slowly in the blistering heat which is draining your energy. Lose 1 stamina point. All you can think about is having a long drink of cold water. You feel dizzy and dehydrated, but manage to stay on your feet without moving. Turn to 141.
You'll probably get like shot at the crossbow if you move. The spectators are finally allowed into the arena late in the afternoon. They cheer the contestants, somewhat of whom look as though they are about to pass out from heat exhaustion. By the time the arena is full, 10 contestants are lying face down in the sand. A trumpet fanfare blasts to the signal of the arrival of Lord Carnus. The spectators stand to applaud him as he takes place on his ornate throne, while the unconscious contestants are dragged out of the arena. Their contest is over before it has even begun. Carnus raises his arms to silence the trumpet and acknowledge the crowd. Standing next to Carnus is a tall, mean-faced officer in a red uniform who steps forward to address the contestants with his sword raised in the air. "Thank you for your patience," he says insincerely. "You may now drink water. You do so eagerly. Add 1 stamina point. As you have been informed by Lord Carnus, only 12 of you will enter the Dungeon of Despair. 10 contestants have been eliminated already, and another 98 are about to be eliminated in the qualifying tournament. The first round is called Bullseye. You will need a partner for this contest. Choose one now. With no information to go on, you look at the people closest to you. If you want to team up with Thump, turn to 291. If you want to choose a High Elf, turn to 47. If you want to choose a Pirate, turn to 361.
Bullseye.
So, I feel like we would probably end up killing Thump if we team up with him. The High Elf is probably going to be really good at archery.
I was thinking the exact same thing. The
just,
pirate's probably drunk, so.
Yeah, it's his fantasy logic. So I think we should choose the pirate.
Yeah, which potion did you... Oh, we didn't pick a potion.
Oh yeah, you're going to go with...
We were going to take skill, but our stamina's super low, but then we've got 10 provisions. Skill or stamina?
We're probably going to die at some point anyway, so maybe we should go with skill and we'll just see how many skill points we lose through this playthrough.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go for the pirate.
Yeah.
Okay, 361. So Ian taketh, then giveth by stamina. Yes, at least we get 1 stamina point back. What did you do in that situation, Steve? Did you take the bait? Did you take the water?
When all the contestants have teamed up with their partners, the officer announces with gusto, "Bullseye is an archery contest. I hope you've chosen wisely because the targets for this contest are the contestants." Oh, he sniggers, hardly able to contain himself. The spectators gasp in shock. The pirate shakes his head and looks at you. "Bah, give me a cutlass any day," he says despondently in a heavy accent. "I've never fired a bow and arrow in my life." Oh no, is he our partner then? I thought we were shooting at each other.
Well,
I'm not going to start now. I'm quitting. Good luck to you. I hope you make it through.
Miso didn't take the water.
Didn't?
He's a man of logic.
There we go. He walks over to a guard who leads him unceremoniously out of the arena, as if he was like to live. I thought he'd just be killed. There is a huge roar from the spectators when a trumpet blasts out a sharp note, followed by the eerie whooshing sound of arrows flying across the arena, many of them hitting their targets. There are gasps from the crowd as contestants fall to the ground, clutching the arrows lodged in their torsos. Listening to the groans of the injured contestants, you're pleased to have missed this round. You scan the survivors and see Thump standing, hands on hips, with a big grin on his face. The trumpet blasts out again and the officer instructs the remaining contestants to line up against the wall opposite him, while the injured are led out and the dead are dragged from the arena. You walk over to Thump and ask him what happened. "I never learnt how to use a bow and arrow, so I figured that if I aimed to miss the thug, I would be more likely to hit him, and I did."
Good logic, right?
Yeah, he says, roaring with laughter. The officer looks along the line of contestants and says without any emotion in his voice, "By my count, there are 48 contestants left in the tournament. Lord Carnus requires that number to be reduced to 12 within the hour. It's time to choose a partner for the next contest. do it now. You agree with Thump's suggestion to split up, at least for now. If you want to choose the thief on your left, turn to 98. If you want to choose the ninja on your right, turn to 184.
So we're gonna be...
a fight. What if we team up with the thief and he robs some of us?
Are we teaming up with them, or are we teaming?
I don't know.
I think maybe... Should we go with a ninja?
Let's go with a ninja, just because I don't really want...
We don't know the mechanics just yet.
The robbers.
Yeah, but that means Thump might get robbed, but... Alright, we haven't seen his inventory list. Where is it? 184 to the ninja. You stand opposite the ninja, who looks at you with piercing eyes, which is all you can see of his masked face. The gate opens and an ox-drawn cart piled high with large iron balls starts to roll slowly into the arena. The officer instructs everybody to take an iron ball from the cart and stand holding it above their head opposite their partner. The iron ball is very heavy and you have difficulty lifting it. The ninja shows surprising strength and is deftly lifting the iron ball above his head. Your arms start to shake under the weight of the ball. The crowd cheers as balls begin to drop onto the ground all around the arena with a dull thud, and eliminated contestants are led away by the guards. The muscles in your arms start to burn, and you wonder how much longer you can last to lose 2 stamina points.
Oh.
With his arms held rigid in the air, the ninja shows no sign of buckling under the weight of the ball. Roll 2 dice. If the total is higher than the ninja's skill score of 6...
It's basically 50-50, isn't it?
So we've got to get... If the total is higher than ninja, so we've got to get...
Well, we don't know what we need to get.
It's 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to get a 6 so low, I would imagine, right?
I'm not sure it's 50-50, isn't it? It could be we win if we get it below.
True. It's his skill, I guess. So we got higher then, so... turn to page 22. I was actually watching your playthrough of The Forest of Doom today. It gave me an idea to try and play it in French for my French
Oh,
discovery.
do it!
Yeah, do it. Did we look like considerably younger in that video?
Shh, don't answer that.
Is this your favourite role-playing book, or do you prefer another? Magic Moose, how are you doing? This is the first time we're reading it, because this is a brand new book that only came out a few days ago. So, maybe the Fighting Fantasy series is our favourite in general, but...
Okay, this is, I think it was bad, that roll. Your arms ache painfully, but you somehow manage to keep the iron ball above your head. Without warning, the ninja drops his iron ball and screams angrily when it hits the ground. You drop your ball and sigh with relief as the ninja is led away.
So he lost?
No. He lost, he dropped his ball, yeah.
Nice.
You're exhausted after the ordeal, and worse still, the pain in one of your arms is getting worse. You have injured the shoulder of your sword arm. Lose 1 skill point and 1 stamina point.
Ouch.
You are relieved to have won the contest and look around to see how Thump has fared. Turn to page 310. Come on, Thump! Come on, Thump! He's got over one.
So you don't really have a chance to... it's purely down to luck, that ninja thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm guessing the thief wouldn't be as strong as
You'd
the
have a much
ninja.
higher skill. No, lower skill.
Yeah. No, higher. Higher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It would be higher for him, so it doesn't make sense. I don't know. You see Thump nearby, sitting arms folded on his iron ball. With how big are these balls?
Pretty big. I'd say like this.
Like a bronze weight ball thing.
Like a bowling ball.
Yeah. Thump sitting arms folded on his iron ball with a beaming smile on his face. That wasn't too hard, was it? He says as you approach him. Before you can answer, the trumpet sounds again, and the officer instructs the remaining 24 contestants to gather at one end of the arena. Gates open at the other end, and a guard walks into the middle carrying a large silver jug. He begins to pour chalk dust onto the sand, marking out a white line across the arena. The officer raises his sword to silence the murmuring crowd. The next contest is a team game called A Line in the Sand, he bellows. You must now make another choice. I want 12 of you to be on one side of the chalk line and 12 of you on the other. Either stay where you are or step over the line. Do it now. A pirate, a man-orc and a barbarian run across the line cheering loudly. They are immediately followed by a thief and a priestess. Thump turns to you and says, I like their spirit, I'm going to join them. Are you coming? If you want to follow Thump across the line, turn to 398. If you want to stay where you are, turn to 257.
Manok and a
They
barbarian.
all sound like bad guys, don't they?
Bit strong. I reckon it'll be a pulley game.
Oh, good shout.
Like strength.
Should we do it? Should we go follow Thump?
If we're gonna die, let's die with Thump.
Let's do it. 398. Follow Thump into the end.
Is that a massive glass of iced tea? What are we drinking?
No,
it's like vodka and strawberry
It's
pop.
vodka and strawberry fizzy soda sort of thing. I see Thump as a Willow type character. I see him more as like a Gimli sort of thing.
We're following him, aren't we?
Well, that little dwarf from The Witcher.
Haha. You run across the chalk line with Thump and 5 others. With the teams established, a party of scrawny slaves enters the arena carrying shovels. They begin digging out the sand on both sides of the white line to reveal 2 long sections of solid stone floor.
Mm-hmm.
When they have finished, more slaves enter the arena carrying a long length of thick rope.
Here we go.
They lay in lengthways across both sections of the stone floor, with the half of it on one side of the chalk line and the half of it on the other side. A line in the sand is a tug-of-war contest. It will be the final contest in the arena. The officer announces triumphantly to rapturous applause from the crowd. Take your positions on the rope. Your team members look at each other before the tall barbarian says in a gruff voice, "I should be the lead puller." "And I should be the anchor," the priestess says, smiling. "Why you? I'm stronger than you. I should be the anchor," the man-orc says dismissively. "You'll see," the priestess replies calmly.
I need to remember what happened in Squid Game now, because they had some weird technique.
Well, the anchor is... You want someone big at the... You want the biggest person at the back and the strongest person at the front, I think. But it sounds like she's got something up her sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she can cast a spell or something? I don't know.
Yeah, let's go with the
What's a
priestess. She's magical, basically. I say we go with her.
If you want to vote for the priestess to be the anchor, turn to 130. If you want to vote for the Manok, 278. Manok is more logical, but let's give her a chance.
Yeah. She's got confidence. She's got silver balls, so... Thump counts and the raised hand and says, "That's 7 in favour of the priestess and 5 in favour of the Manok." So that would have been even, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing Thump's just voted with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The priestess will be our anchor. Everybody takes up their position on the rope with the barbarian at the front, with you and Thump in 2nd and 3rd position. The priestess at the back. You watch the opposing team take their positions on the rope with a berserker at the front and a giant warrior at the back as their anchor. Gripping the rope tightly, everybody leans back to take up the strain. The officer raises his sword and shouts, "When I say heave, pull on the rope as hard as you can. The first team drag the other team forward by a meter will be judged the winner. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, heave."
I'm scared.
Sweating profusely in the heat, but encouraged by the grimacing faces of your opponents, you lean back as far as you can, pulling the rope with all your might. The minutes pass with neither team being able to pull the other forward, when suddenly the priestess lets go of the rope and points to the sky. A green flash sparks from her ring finger, and the rope suddenly feels easier to pull. As the invisible hand is helping you to pull it, you start to inch your way backwards, and all the wailing and grunting coming from your opponents cannot stop them from being pulled forward. The officer raises his sword when you drag them forward by a meter. The stone floor gives way beneath them, and you watch them fall into the void, screaming in terror. Turn to 213. Is that the only way to do it?
It's a good way.
I wonder if there's a way of doing it on the other side, on the opposite team, and still winning.
But then Throm would die.
Yeah. Thump.
Oh yeah. Thump. The stone floor rises back up with the spectators clapping and cheering wildly. "I told you I had to be the anchor," the priestess says, looking very pleased with herself. "A little magic can make a big difference." The officer raises his sword to silence the crowd, telling your team to stand in a line. He turns back to the crowd and says, "I'm sure you will all agree that this has been a glorious contest so far." To end this part of it, Lord Carnus will say a few words. Carnus rises slowly to his feet, and with a look of satisfaction on his face, he says, "Indeed, this has been a glorious day, and I for one do not want it to end." So there will be an additional contest called Life or Death. It will be one-on-one combat that will better reflect the name of my arena. The 12 will become 6.
Right.
Only these 6 survivors will enter my dungeon. The spectators go wild on hearing his announcement. Karna slowly surveys the 12 remaining competitors. Contestants, draw your weapons and prepare to fight to the death. The dwarf warrior will fight the rogue, the assassin will fight the berserker, the monk will fight the barbarian, the priestess will fight the thief, the warrior knight will fight the mercenary,
The mercenary.
and the man-orc will fight the adventurer. He growls in a cold voice, pointing his finger at you. Let battle commence. He sits down to watch the spectacle begin, signaling to the officer to instruct the contestants to stand opposite
This
their
book
opponent.
is X-rated, right? I don't believe it is.
It will be.
It will be
when we're
in
done
our
with
edition.
it. You walk over to the tall man-orc. Why are we against the man-orc? I feel that's very unfair.
Because he's the stupidest one.
Who looks like he is mean and ferocious fighter. Holding his heavy broadsword in 2 hands above his head, he charges at you the moment the trumpet sounds. You raise your
Here we
sword
go.
and stand ready to fight him.
Battle.
Are you
number
ready?
1. What's he?
Man-orc, his
Man-orc.
skill is 8 and his stamina
Okay.
is 7.
We got an orc. He looks pretty
Yeah.
orcish. Right, so his stamina is
7. And his skill is 8. And what's our skill? 9 and 14. We can do that.
Hold on 1 second. The thing isn't working.
Oh no! All that redoing.
Yeah. I've literally deleted all those files. There's no way why it should be on.
Come on. Yay. And skill 8.
One second.
Technical difficulties. Here we go.
It worked?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Ready?
Ready. Let's go. First battle. So we're on 9 skill.
I keep looking at the top left.
I know it's changed around.
Yes.
Okay, so he's got blue blood,
Oh, you should have green blood.
but then we'd have to change the blood every time.
Yes.
You got a win?
Yes.
Down to 3 for the man-orc. That's a win.
Yeah. Don't say anything. But we're doing so good.
So far, so good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We did him. That was easy.
Oh, if you win, you get to turn to page 69.
Nice. That's an early start. Getting right into it. With the man-orc slain, you watch the final battle, which ends with the barbarian slumping to the ground. All the spectators rise to their feet to applaud the victors. Even Lord Karna stands and claps. You are exhausted but relieved to have survived the elimination contest. Whilst the spectators begin to make their way to the dungeon to watch the start of the contest, you look around the arena and see the victors are the monk, the warrior knight, the thief, the assassin, and Thump, who punches the air triumphantly. You are led out of the arena by the officer and taken to a small building nearby to rest and eat. Add 2 stamina points.
Yay. I have a feeling that warrior knight is going to be like...
Yeah. Nobody is talking, and you decide to break the silence and introduce yourself to the others. The thief bows and says, "Greetings. Fingers Foley is my name."
No, it's not.
And it is Fingers Foley, double fingers. And thieving is my game. Fingering is my game. In case you were wondering, I was given the name Fingers not because it's a thief name, because it's my little My little finger was cut off as a punishment for sneaking out of the
Oh.
Black Lobster Tavern in Port Blacksand. We were
Oh,
just there
we
at
were
the Temple of
just
Terror.
there.
I know.
We'll have to tell him.
Without paying for my drinks.
It's like this in
I
Germany.
know, well, we knocked that guy over, didn't we? We didn't pay for his drink. I usually get away with it, but not in Port Blacksand. Thump asks him how he was able to defeat the priestess. Oh, that was easy.
Use my fingers.
I didn't lose my thieving skills when I lost my finger. As we chatted whilst walking away from across the arena, I slipped her magic ring off her finger without her noticing. Should have seen the look on her face when she realised what I'd done. So this guy's he's going to be tricky.
Yeah, I'm worried that we're talking to him, to be honest.
Yeah, he's probably just robbed something from us.
Yeah.
The monk is called Usman Ko, and he is from Fang. Succumbit raged for days when he heard about his brother's dungeon. Silly old fool. He scoffs, leaning on his staff. The armoured warrior knight is from Chalice and goes by the name of Caldwell. He is a man of few words and looks to be quietly assessing everyone's strengths and weaknesses. The last contestant is Azura Zhang from Zengis. Watch your back, I'm an assassin, she says mischievously with a sly smile. Trumpets suddenly blare to signal that it is time for you to enter Karnas's Dungeon of Despair. As you get ready to go, Thump whispers in your ear, shall we make a pact not to fight each other in the dungeon? If you want to make a pact with Thump, turn to 195. If you do not want to make a pact with Thump, what? What are you thinking?
Let's make a pact with him and lie to him and kill him later. Because he's going to do that to us.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but we'd rather make the pact and get a bit further on in the dungeon.
Yeah, and hopefully someone else kills him.
Yeah. He might survive, we might both survive. We can. I don't think it's down to one person.
As long as it doesn't, we don't get to a page and it's like, if you made a pact with Thump.
Where do you usually purchase these? You can get these on Amazon, to be honest. I'm not sure where you're watching from, but you should be able to find these. They're called Fighting Fantasy, and there's literally like 50 books spanning back to... This is the sequel to Death Trap Dungeon, which just had its 40th anniversary, so they're very...
That's crazy.
Very...
Actually crazy.
Let's see that blood.
Ooh, it looks like jelly. Thump slaps you on the back and shakes your hand firmly. By the beard of Big Leg, our bond is built.
Leg.
Who's Big Leg? The dwarf leader or something?
Something like that. I do remember Big Leg.
He says solemnly, with his eyes fixed on yours. Now let's find the orb. Once outside, the officer leads you along a dusty track that is lined with hundreds of cheering spectators. Walking along, you notice a white-haired old man in the crowd. He's waving at you, trying to get your attention.
He's blown as a kiss.
Maybe. Should we take our chances?
See what he says.
When he catches your eye, he beckons you over to speak to him. If you want to stop to speak to the old man, what if it's just Roman?
It could be.
Turn to 284. If you want to keep on walking, I don't want to be rude. He's probably going to curse us.
Yeah,
but...
he's definitely like a warlock. 40 is a good vintage, yeah. What's the next one? What's the next anniversary, Steve? Watching from the US, I'll probably aim to pick one up. Yeah, I would recommend... I would go back to the start if I was you. I would pick up the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. That's the very first book.
And Forest of Doom.
Yeah.
Forest of Doom's good. Speaking to the old man?
Yeah. Maybe it is Jastromo. Unless he's died in one of the books we've not read yet. He looks at you intently with piercing eyes and says, if you want to stay alive, don't choose 5. Write that down.
Oh, okay. But what is if he's tricking us?
We'll find out when we don't choose 5. Before you have time to ask him to explain, he disappears into the crowd. You tell Thump that what the man says, but he dismisses it as nonsense, saying, what's he talking about, number 5? Number 5 what? Forget it. Thump turns and walks on, waving at everyone and soaking up the adulation from his growing number of fans. You hear a shrill whistle and turn to see a tall man in a hooded cloak looking at you. He pulls a long knife out from under his cloak and waves it in the air. If you want to speak to the man, turn to 91. If you want to ignore him and catch up with Thump, turn to 12. Should we just see who he is?
Yeah, go on.
91.
I feel like we're gonna not be very popular in this contest.
At this time in FF history, there were multiple books released each year.
What a time! What a time to be alive!
What do you think would be the classed as the next big one if they were to do like another Fighting Fantasy Fest next year? What would be the big one they would celebrate?
Hey, do we have any gold?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You walk over to the man whose eyes are ice blue. He looks at you without smiling and says very seriously, "This is a Kragan knife. I forged it myself. You will need one if you hope to survive today.
Mm-hmm.
I would be willing to sell this one for 2 gold pieces if you'd like to buy it." You look at the knife and see that it has an ornate handle and a long wavy blade made of bronze. If you want to buy the knife, turn to 371. If you want to turn down his offer and catch up with Thump, turn to 12.
We might as well buy it, haven't we?
Let's splurge.
Caverns, House of Hell. Oh, I really hope they do if they do like an anniversary for House of Hell when we go to fight, that'd be amazing. So we're gonna buy the knife, 371. Island of the Lizard King, yeah. 371.
Wonder what it'll be next year when they have no, it'll be the year after.
2 years, yeah, so it'll be
next fair.
2026, so what came out in 1986? The man pockets your gold pieces and says you will not be disappointed. He turns and disappears into the crowd. You slide a knife into your belt and walk on to catch up with Thump. Turn to page 12.
What was it called? A Kragan knife?
Yeah.
Do you want to put it in our pocket?
Yeah, why not? So let's get the inventory out. We now have a Kragan knife.
Oh, I'm seeing some cool pictures. That terrified me.
I don't know how that happened. The vinyl just fell out of the wall.
Yeah, but it popped out of the thing it was set in. That's weird.
Right.
Okay.
1 second, where were we? Curse.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have taken that blade.
I've just given myself a provision by accident.
Snuck it on there.
Yep.
You soon arrive at a cave with its entrance surround carved into the shape of 2 fire-breathing dragons locked in battle. Standing there, waiting to greet you, is Lord Karnas, resplendent in his purple robes. A huge crowd of people has gathered at the entrance, with everybody jostling for position, desperate to see the contestants close up. Karnas motions for the crowd to hush so that he can be heard. I congratulate the 6 finalists. You are all heroes, but alas, there can only be one champion. Now, I want each of you to stand on one of the slabs over here, he says invitingly, pointing to 6 numbered stone slabs on the ground in front of him. The assassin makes her mind up quickly and stands on slab 1, followed by Caldwell, who steps confidently on slab 3. Thump jumps onto slab 6 and motions you to stand next to him on slab 5. If you want to stand next to him on slab 5, turn to 40.
We're going to cause a rivalry here, unless like something really bad happens and he knows it's a trap.
If you want to stand on slab 2,
Yes.
turn to 316. If you want to stand on slab 4,
Oh, so there's no option.
turn to 176. 5, 2, or 4.
You'll just stand next to him on. So what's he on? Thump is on 6.
Should we go on 4, then we just run away from him?
Yeah, let's do that.
176. Oh, maybe this is our like order we going in.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. You stand on the slab and watch the monk stand on slab 2, and finally the thief who steps cautiously onto slab 5. Your heart begins to pound in your chest when Lord Karnas reaches for an iron lever by protruding from the wall and of the cave entrance. The crowd goes silent when he takes hold of it with both hands. Contestants, you are about to enter my dungeon of despair. When I pull down on this lever, you will drop through the floor. I should warn you that one of you will not survive this fall.
Yeah, it might not be 5.
True, it could be 2 or 4.
Who told us that? Was it the old man?
Yeah. If any of you, he's just putting his finger up to us in the crowd right now, laughing at us. If any of you want to change places with another contestant, do so now. The thief raises his hand and says, I'll swap so the thief's on 5.
Yeah.
I'll swap if anyone else will. Do you want to change place with fingers? Turn to 133. If you want to stay where you are, turn to 342. 342. Let's see this guy get impaled on spikes.
It might be us though.
No.
Hopefully if this guy's telling the truth about this number 5, he's also telling the truth about his blade being...
That was a different person.
Oh, is it different?
That was the tall guy in the hood.
Ugh. The thief looks disappointed that nobody wants to change places with him, but he shrugs his shoulders as though he doesn't care. The crowd gasps that Karnas pulls down on the iron lever and the slabs fall away. You drop through a hole and find yourself sliding down a stone chute to land heavily at the bottom of a deep pit. Lose 1 stamina point.
That's not so bad.
The pale light from amber crystals attached to the pit wall is just enough for you to see that the floor is covered in a writhing mass of snakes.
I wonder if it's a different encounter and different
Yeah.
platforms.
There is a ladder attached to the pit wall that goes up to a wooden door higher up. If you want to fight the snakes, turn to 189. If you want to climb the ladder to open the door, turn to 110. Should we fight the snakes? Because there might be something under them.
Yeah, we got to figure it out, haven't we? So, I do have a snake in here somewhere. combine like all the folders of all the enemies from like the last 5 books, and I do think we got a snake in here somewhere.
We've got loads. I feel like we've got loads of snakes.
Yeah, but there's only one left in the folder, and it doesn't
Oh,
quite
he's a
fit the
good one,
frame,
he's a
but it
good
will
one.
do. Right, so stamina.
Oh, 189. He doesn't have 189 stamina. You just need to go to 189. Oh, there's 3. The snakes are small but slippery quick, and there are at least 20 of them in the pit.
Oh,
They're also poisonous. You must react quickly to avoid being bitten. You draw your sword and attack. Fight the snakes one at a time. If you defeat all 3 snakes, turn to 2 and 9. You may escape by climbing up the ladder to open the door, but you must lose 2 stamina points, as one of the snakes will bite you as you flee.
right, you'll get poison then though.
Yeah.
So fighting them. I'm guessing if you get to the next page, like if you're bitten.
Yeah, maybe. So, first snake, skill is 5. Stamina is 3.
Okay, that's not so bad.
You ready? Oh, why did it do that? That's so annoying.
It just keeps changing back to something that doesn't even exist anymore.
Oh.
Really annoying.
Well, I was going to say hopefully there's not many fights, but there probably will be.
Yeah, I'll try and figure it out for the next one, but it is a nightmare. It's never done this until the last couple of parts. Okay, right, it should work now, so...
Yay!
Yes, okay.
Ready?
Yes.
That's a win. One more.
5 and a 1. What's their stats on? Our stats?
I can't see. 9. Ooh. We've got 16, they've got 5. Even.
Nice. Creature of Havoc. Now, that was a tough game book. I'm sure we'll find out eventually.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we've done Creature of Havoc.
Not yet.
Yeah, that's a win.
So he's dead, okay.
First snake's dead. Snake 2, skill 4, stamina 4.
Let's go. 2 rounds.
Ooh.
10, 11, 12.
They've got 12.
So even. Even,
Yeah,
but we win,
we
so
win.
down to 2 stamina for the snake 2. 4.
Yay. So, snake 3.
Yeah, skill.
Skill 5, stamina 4. This is the biggest snake.
Skill. Pretty easy.
Why did you
Skill-wise.
say that? Why did you say that?
What's that? 15 for us, 15 for them.
Yay.
Okay, so down to 2.
Come on.
And we've not been hurt yet.
Oh no!
10.
14, and we've got 9, 10, 11, 12. We've bitten us. That's
No.
what you get for saying we've not been hurt yet. One more.
Did that work?
What were we on? Were we on 14 anyway?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's changed to another folder.
Oh.
Uh,
Maybe it's. I know, we've already had a fight, haven't we? Last one.
Okay, so that takes us down to. $12. And
Yeah,
got,
we won.
right, so he's dead, so we're down to 10. No, 12.
12 stamina we're down to, and the snakes are dead. Two, 1, 9.
Do you want to go start reading that?
Yeah. You see a glass object on the floor which is partially hidden by the snakes, but before you can find out what it is, more snakes slither over to you and rear up to attack.
Right.
If you want to stand and fight, turn to 372. If you want to climb up the ladder to open the door. We've already defeated some snakes. Should we just get through another snake battle?
Yeah, there's 20 down there, so we got another 17 to go, but we should try and figure out if it's worthwhile.
Yeah. At least we won't have to do it again if it's something useless. Oh, okay. You cut down several snakes with your sword, but many more lunge at you to sink their poisonous fangs into your leg. Roll 1 dice to determine how many of them bite you. And reduce your stamina by 2 points for each bite. If you're still alive, turn to 63.
You want to make the roll?
No, I'm reading.
Oh, so
well
we lose
done.
2 stamina points.
Yeah. So we're down to 10 stamina. If you're still alive, turn to page 63.
Nice. 63?
Mm-hmm.
Weakened by the poison, you must decide what to do. If you want to try and grab the glass object on the floor before you climb the ladder, turn to 171. If you want to climb up the ladder straight away, go to 110. We
I feel
might
like
as well,
this is such a warning.
Yeah.
Like, don't bother.
yeah, but there is an item down there that we can
Yeah.
collect, so we might as well do it. 171.
We're probably gonna die here.
Yeah, but if we find out what it is, it'll be worthwhile, hopefully.
You reach down to pick up the object which you discover
Go on.
is a glass jar containing 2 gold pieces.
Oh, nice.
You decide to climb up the ladder before any more snakes strike you.
Oh, we
10
might
to
need it, you
110.
never know.
We got our money back from that knife that we.
Yeah.
I don't think that's worth it. 10 to 110. So that's the same page as if you were just to go
Yeah.
straight up the ladder.
You never know, we might need to buy something really important.
Who's gonna be selling stuff in here?
There was merchants in Death
Oh, is it?
Dungeon, I think. You scramble up the ladder and you're very relieved to find that the door isn't locked. It opens into a dimly lit tunnel running left and right, so we might need to start a map now.
Oh, okay.
Which is rough stone walls hewn out of the rock long ago by Carnus's slaves. The air is cool and dank. There is an eerie silence, save for the occasional clang of a bell coming from a long way off. You peer into the gloom and decide which way to go. If you want to head west, turn to 7. If you want to head east in the direction of the sound of the bell, turn to 3 to 8.
I would say westward, but
But it's telling us the bell thing's down there, isn't it? So
down to is the
To the
bell
right.
east?
yeah.
Here we go to the bell.
Yeah, let's find out what's this
Oh,
bell.
sorry,
means.
westward.
Yeah, we'll get back down there. 3 to 8.
Oh. Oh.
What is it?
It's a hobgoblin in a cage.
Ooh.
You head east along the tunnel with the sound of the bell getting noticeably louder. It leads into a cavern where you see a small iron cage suspended from the low ceiling by a thick rope. A small humanoid with long pointed ears and a wild look in his eyes is sitting in the cage with his legs dangling out. He's holding a brass bell and he looks very annoyed. Beyond the cage, you see there are 2 archways leading out of the cavern. One a continuation of the tunnel, and the other a stairwell which spirals steps going up. When he sees you, the hobgoblin starts banging the bell against the iron bars. "You, human, open cage," he screams at the top of his voice. "If help, me help. If you want to help the hobgoblin, turn to 161. If you want to ignore him and walk over to the archways, turn to 393.
Let's do it. Let's
Help
let out.
him?
Yeah.
Does he look like the sort of person that you would
Well,
help?
I'm going to take him at his word that he's going to help us.
Okay.
He might give us the brass bell, which we might need.
I'm gonna draw a little picture of the bell on on this map.
Hobgoblin points to his left and says, "Key, look, there." You walk back to the back of the cavern, turn over a large stone and find a brass key underneath it.
Nice.
"Throw to me, quick," the hobgoblin shouts impatiently. If you want to throw the key up to the hobgoblin, turn to 160. If you'd rather keep the key and walk on, turn to 393. Should we go down the route of trusting him with the key?
Really? Let me draw a picture of a key. Let's help him then. It's our
Yeah.
first playthrough, and we always try to play nice on our first
Yeah.
playthrough.
And then we just leave everyone to die the second time around. Okay, throw the key up to the hobgoblin, 106.
What if we need the key?
Then we can kill him and take it back off him.
Oh yeah. The hobgoblin catches the key through the bars and lets out a whoop of joy. He unlocks the door and jumps down from the cage, still holding the bell. Carnus's guards saying me dungeon people is freeing me, not true, not good. Thinking me never escape. Me free and telling you stairs climbing, he says.
Reading that, I'm reading it in like a Jamaican accent or something.
What?
I don't know.
He says, pointing over his shoulder to the staircase with his thumb. He starts walking towards the tunnel you came from, but suddenly stops and looks back at you. Me forgetting little man with red hair, green pants. You meet, you ring this. He
Oh,
thinks,
is that the leprechaun?
ringing the bell. Yes!
What was he in? When he like was suspended and he was like biting all legs?
He was horrible.
Was that sorcery?
But it was all a
It was the Shadow of the Giants, the Dream Cheese
Was
area,
it?
wasn't it? Or Citadel of Chaos.
Oh yeah, that was it. Him, Juggler Jack. Him saying friend, but him not. Him thief. If him seeing, you ringing bell. Him hating bell. So, if we see a leprechaun,
Ring the bell.
ring the bell. The hobgoblin places his hands over his ears and pretends to scream. Mine, 1 gold piece. You buy cheap cheap. If you want to buy the brass bell, 10 to 17.
Yeah.
If you want to decline his offer and walk over to the
I feel like we're
archery.
gonna need it.
Yeah. Or you can attack the hobgoblin. And then we could take the bell.
And the key.
Or should we be nice?
Let's take it.
Take it as in
We'll
buy it or take
let's
it.
buy it.
force.
Let's buy it this time.
Okay.
Okay, so brass bell.
Brass bell. And minus 1 gold. He might come back and help us later.
Yeah, that's true. So we got the brass bell now. Here we go.
17.
The hobgoblin bites the gold piece before giving you the brass bell. You, not me cheating, he says, grinning. Not forgetting ring bell when seeing Juggler Jack. If forgetting him talking dopey and throwing stink at you.
What?
He's throwing like turd at us. The hobgoblin makes a motion of his arm as though it's throwing a ball. Glass breaking. You snoring, him stealing. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
You thank the hobgoblin for his advice. Put the bell in your backpack and walk over to the archways. 393.
393.
Mm-hmm.
You peer into the tunnel heading east out of the cavern and see it as narrow and gloomy. You peer into the second archway and look up the staircase but can't see anything unusual. If you want to walk down the tunnel, turn to 207. If you want to climb the spiral staircase, which he told us to.
Did he?
Yeah, turn to 238. I think he pointed and said to the stairs with his thumb.
Let's do that then.
Then what if we missed something down the tunnel? Should we just go stairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go stairs.
What's the page at the stairs?
The page we're on now.
Yeah.
393.
393.
Stairs is 238.
Yeah.
And the tunnel is 207.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go up the spiral staircase to 238. Hopefully it's a dead end and we come back down.
That's Juggler Jackals.
Holding your sword at the ready, you walk slowly up the narrow spiral staircase that leads to the beginning of a narrow corridor heading south. There are burning torches set along the stone walls at regular intervals, and ahead you can see a wooden door in the right hand wall. If you want to open the door, turn to 79. If you rather walk past the door, turn to 331. So we might as well try the door.
So we're going south.
Yeah, and there's a door on the right, which is page 79.
Yeah.
We can go past it to the end of the corridor to 331. So we're going to check out the wooden door. So 79.
The door opens into a small room that has smooth stone walls and a flagstone floor. On the far wall there is a large cracked mirror and a gilt frame of elaborately carved snakes, not more snakes. In the centre of the room there's a bronze statue of a warrior bending down as though he is about to pick up a silver ring that is lying on the floor. Will you look in the mirror, pick up the silver ring, or close the door and walk up the corridor?
Maybe we should look in the mirror first to see if, like, maybe he's like moving in the mirror or something.
The mirror's got a big crack in it. Should we look in the mirror?
Let's look in the mirror. I mean, it feels like picking up the ring is obviously a trap, but
yeah,
the mirror's got to have something. Like, the mirror's literally got like a little portal in it or something. Look in the mirror, 358. You walk over to the mirror and examine the frame and the fine detail of the snakes. When you look at the mirror, you feel a strange sensation on your face as though somebody is drawing a line down it. A jagged red line suddenly appears on your face, running down your forehead, over your left eye and down your cheek to your throat. The line turns into an ugly scar and looks exactly like the crack in the mirror. The mirror is cursed. You feel strangely weak, but there is nothing you can do to remove the voodoo scar. Lose 2 skill points and 2 luck points. So let's use the luck points and then we'll use our skill potion.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So 2 luck points down.
That's brutal.
I know. Maybe write that on the thing.
Cursed mirror.
Yep. So our skill now goes back up to 10.
Yeah, potion is gone. I'll make a note of that.
Yeah. If you haven't done so already, you can pick up the silver ring if you'd rather leave the room. So let's just pick up the ring anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder if you have to fight it now because you've just lost your skill points. Let's do it.
1, 2, 6. Keeping an eye on the statue, you reach down and pick up the ring. It feels ice cold in your hand. If you want to put it on your finger, turn to 144. If you'd rather put the ring back on the floor and leave the room, turn to 331. Alternatively, if you haven't done so already, you can look in the mirror. So it's either we put the ring on or we put the ring back down.
Should we put the ring on? Hey Tomcat, how you doing?
Winning daughters. Hey Tomcat.
Let's put the ring on.
Let's put the ring on. Why not? It's freezing cold. We just found it on the ground.
You notice the number 111 etched inside the ring. As you slide it on your middle finger, the statue's eyes flick open, and in a low roar, it hisses a chilling warning. They who steal the ring of ice, my sword... We might get to keep the ring though. My sword will cut and chop and slice.
Nice.
The warrior statue stands up, draws its sword, and steps down from its plinth to attack you. If you want to fight the bronze warrior, turn to 231. You may escape, but you must lose 2 stamina points as the warrior will wound you as you flee. Should we fight him?
Yeah, let's fight him.
231, Bronze Warrior.
Why not? Why not?
I have recently discovered the world of British pies for myself.
Oh, pies are good.
Pie.
I like steak.
Steak
yeah.
pie.
You can get steak and kidney pie, but I really don't like it.
Meat and potato or
taste
steak?
right. Yeah, meat, potato, and cheese and onion pie is good too.
Yeah, now I want a pie.
Yes, should we get some pie?
Yeah, let's go out.
But you gotta have them with
8 p.m.
mushy peas and gravy. The bronze warrior strides slowly towards you with its sword raised, ready to strike. Bronze warrior, skill 9, stamina 10. Should we pop a couple of provisions in our mouth right now, just before this fight?
Yes, let's do that.
Since we're talking about pies.
Yep. So provision. How many?
What? How
2
many we eating?
provisions. That takes us
2.
up to 18, which is our max.
max, yeah.
So stamina is now 18.
Steak and
brass balls,
skeleton. Not tried that. Steak and ale pie without the steak. Oh, that's bells.
Right, what are we doing again?
Bronze warrior. His skill is 9.
1 sec. Dice cam is slightly cropped out. There we go.
The reveal.
Have I changed all these to manual now? No, I've fixed them. Stamina?
10.
Skill was 9?
Yeah.
There we go. Right, let's go. This looks fancy. Thanks for the rec.
Do these books always tell you the trade-offs of your actions?
No.
No, never. Snake needs to be a... Have you got a bronze warrior?
No, I don't.
Why?
I just don't have one, I don't think. I probably have fought one at some point, but I don't have one.
Anyone shiny?
We've got a troll.
He looks quite
Yeah,
bronze.
we could put a filter on him.
Got a little tan.
We'll do that in post-production.
Oh, if you win an attack round, your sword will only reduce the warrior's stamina by 1 point. If you possess a Kragan knife, which we do, it will reduce the warrior's stamina by 2 when you win an attack round. If you win, turn to page 4. Right, nice, it's normal fight.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was good.
So win? Equal,
Yes,
but we win.
yes,
so.
we win. Oh, that's a good sound.
6 and a 6. 6
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Down to 6. 3 more successful rounds and we get him.
1.
2 more.
Oh no. Oh no. He's got us.
Two and a 1.
Oh.
14 stamina for us. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. That's a win.
Yay! Oh no, we got one more.
Last round, hopefully.
Even.
Yeah. Right, we killed him.
If you win, turn to page 4.
Hopefully we get something, but at least we'll know now. A search of the room yields nothing else of interest other than a small copper charm in the shape of a beetle hidden in a crack in the wall.
Ooh.
You may take the charm, and if you haven't done so already, you may look in the mirror.
So have we still got
What?
the ring on? We've got ice ring, haven't we?
Yeah.
Ice ring.
So you kind of need to do this. I think.
And a copper beetle charm. That's good.
If you'd rather leave the room and walk on the corridor to 331, so we're going to go to 331. I will give us the copper beetle jar.
Copper beetle charm.
Okay.
The corridor turns sharply left and you head east. I'm going to just try and do this as I go.
Yep.
Sharply left and you head east until you come to another door in the right hand wall. You listen at the door but do not hear anything. If you want to open the door, turn to 272. If you want to carry on walking down the corridor, turn to 179.
The place name is called Sweeney Todd's, which is amazing pies next to a barber shop.
Oh, that's so cool.
I think you might have discovered something new about yourself. Thanks, Steve. So we can either listen at the door or we can just...
We can either go in the door,
Right.
or we can... We've got to check the door out.
Well, I think we will have to leave it on that point till next time because we are getting
We
1 hour
so
plus.
much drink left.
Come on now, let's go
One
a
more
few
door,
more. Let's
one
do a
more
few
door.
more. Let's go a few more. Come on. What page was it? Listen to the door. If you want to open the door, turn to 272. Okay, let's go. The door opens into a large room that appears to be an old library. There are floor-to-ceiling wooden bookcases lining the walls and bookshelves set in rows in the floor, all crammed with dusty, leather-bound books. There is a musty smell in the cool air. Cobwebs hang from the shelves and the floor is littered with paper and debris. If you want to look at some of the books, turn to 31. If you'd rather close the door, we got to look at the books. 31.
Are they going to curse us though?
Probably.
It's Death Trap Dungeon, isn't it?
It's the dungeon on Blood Island.
There's not going to be any helpful books here.
It's, what is it called? The Dungeon of Despair, this one?
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You scan the shelves quickly and
Let me
see...
guess, there's a red book, a black book, and a white book.
No.
Okay.
You scan the shelves quickly and see spell books, treasure books, history books, mythology books, books of maps, books of monsters, books of the undead, books on the heroes of Alancia, books of artifacts, books of potions, and more. There are hundreds of books in the library, of which 3 titles, and have we looked through all these books? 3 titles intrigue you the most.
Hello.
Hello!
Can't hang around early, start tomorrow. Yeah, we got an early start tomorrow, but we're going to be wrapping this up very soon.
Yeah,
Thank you for
best
stopping
of
by the
luck.
stream. We appreciate it.
This is a very Ian book.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
So far, so good.
Thank you for the look.
Okay.
3 titles intrigue you the most, so will you open the book entitled Dead and Undead?
Mm-hmm.
Open the book entitled Mages and Magic?
Mm-hmm.
Open the book entitled Dungeon of Despair? Or leave the library and continue up?
Dead and Undead.
Really?
Yeah.
Dungeons of Despair will be a trick.
I think that one will give us information on the actual dungeon to maybe avoid a trap. But Mages and Magic might give us a spell to use or something to avoid a spell. I think Dead and Undead might give us a way to kill a creature that can't be killed.
Or it might kill us.
This is a first run, so...
I'm gonna make a checkpoint.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Monday night, it can't be too late as there's a whole week ahead, yeah. I mean, we're up at what? 4:30
About
tomorrow.
4.
Well, every day this week.
Dead and Undead?
Dead and Undead. Go
Checkpoint
down the
during.
line. Yeah. The pages in the book are yellow and brittle, and some fall apart when you touch them. The book is full of descriptions and illustrations of undead creatures and tortured souls. On the centre pages, there is a pen and ink illustration of a long-haired man in tattered clothing who is chained to a dungeon wall with his head bowed. It's Thrum. He's alive.
No,
You
it's
turn him into a
not.
zombie.
He's dead.
There are some words below the illustration in a language you do not understand, which read Nush Na Maga.
Nush? How do you spell?
Nush.
Nush?
Yeah. N-A.
N-A?
M-A.
M-A?
G-A-R.
Can you use it in a sentence?
No. If you want to say the words out loud, then throw a 7. If you want to read...
You've already said them out loud.
Let's do it then. Throw a 7.
Oh no, it's a curse!
I know, let's do it. We're reading the Necronomicon here.
Let me keep my finger on the page.
I thought my 7 a.m. wake-up was early.
Wake 'em?
Wake-up
Is that
was
the
early.
new word?
Yeah. 7 a.m. is like a lie-in on a weekend for us, to be honest.
As soon as you've uttered the words, the illustration starts to move on the page. The man's head lifts, and you see he has a broken jaw and his mouth is hanging open.
Ooh.
His sickly white eyes are bulging and red-rimmed, and his skull has a deep wound in it, like it's been struck with an axe. He's got an axe wound.
Nice.
He starts to wrestle with the chains that hold him. If you want to keep the book open, turn to 96. If you want to close the book and leave the library...
Right, so we can't read the other books if we don't fight this thing, so we might as well.
We might be saving him.
Oh yeah, true.
96.
Yeah, let's go through with it. Well, if it becomes like us choosing every option, so then by part 4 or 5 we're like cheating on every page.
Sounds like a Yorkshireman. You're not even Yorkshire.
No,
I am.
barely.
No, not anymore.
You watch the man break free from the chains and suddenly leap off the page. He lands on the floor and grows quickly into a life-size figure standing opposite you. With green bile spilling out of his broken mouth, he utters a sickly gurgling sound from the back of his throat and lunges forward to grab you with his manacled hands. The spell has released the undead, lose 1 luck point.
Should I write, don't...
Well, we don't know, we might be good, we might get an item or something. You're being attacked by a flesh-eating zombie and you must defend yourself. So this is a really, really awesome bit of art here. The zombie in the library. Nice. So, skill 7, stamina 7.
Let's do him.
Let's do him.
Get him
Double
done.
team him. So, zombie. I do
You've
have
got Irish
zombies.
zombie.
Maybe we've got a couple zombies.
Oh, there's one to the left of that as well.
Zombie warrior.
I think he's more of a zombie.
No, I think he's more of a
Yeah, no,
normal.
he's a normal zombie.
Yeah, there might be more zombies in this one.
7 and 7. Isn't it weird? Do you reckon it's every time we put it from the main page to the battle page?
I have no idea, honestly, it's really annoying. Okay, let's go. 6 and a 1.
Nice.
Zombies down to 5. Stamina no.
Yeah.
Down to 3 for the zombie. Down to 1.
Yeah. Can do it.
That's a win?
Yes.
Right, zombie's done.
If you win, 10 to 3, 3, 8. Is it my go?
Yeah.
The zombie turns to dust on the floor, leaving behind nothing more than its manacles. If you've not done so already, you can either open the book entitled Mages and Magic, or open the book entitled Dungeon of Despair. So we know not to read the Undead book.
Yeah.
I'll just put Undead X.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to leave it here, or do you want to...
Why don't we just finish reading
The
these
book
books?
thing?
Yeah, and then we'll leave it when we leave the library.
In order, Mages and Magic?
Yeah. Mages and Magic 263. When you take the book off the shelf, it begins to give off a shimmering green glow. If you still want to open the book, turn to 216. If you want to put the book back on the shelf and read the other books or leave the library, so we're going to open it up anyway. 216.
What's the worst that could happen?
Avada Kedavra, green glow, it's going to kill us instantly. Hey, we're going down a dungeon. Hey, Lost Rivers, how you doing? That is a thick book. It's just a typical 400 segmenter.
Hey John,
Nice to
hey
see everyone.
Lost. You take a deep breath and open the book.
Oh, the Mages and Magic book,
The
maybe.
first chapters are histories of good and evil wizards, sorcerers, and necromancers. The other chapters feature lavish illustrations of ingredients that you think are for making potions. Frustratingly, most of the words are in Elvish, which you are unable to read, but there is some mysterious handwriting in large red letters on the
Sounds
last
like a
page.
warning to
Yeah,
me.
definitely. We're going to read it anyway then.
Yeah, of course we are.
Last page of the book that you're able to understand. If you want to utter the words Scoob Edils 20,
Outslide books. It's backwards.
oh, turn to 66. If you want to put the book on the shelf and you have not done it, also, so you can read the other books at this
Or
point.
leave.
Should we read it out?
Yeah.
We've already
it
done
says,
it.
it says it's basically outslide books, does it?
Oh, are they all gonna fly out the shelves and hit us? Yeah,
Maybe.
they are.
Or
They
maybe
are.
like a special one will come out that's hidden away. You say the words softly, and almost immediately one of the panels in the bookcase set against the far wall begins to slide forward. There's an alcove behind the bookcase where you see a small wooden box on a stone shelf. You shake the box and hear something rattle inside. You want to open the box, turn to 192. I'm not going to read the rest because it's basically leave.
Yes,
so
open it.
192. Let's open the box.
What do you reckon's in here? A
A
banana.
crucifix.
You lift the lid and suddenly feel a sharp pain in your wrist. You've triggered a dart trap. Oh, it's traps, isn't it? Lose 2 stamina points and roll 1 dice. If you roll a 6, you must also lose 1 skill point. Trying to ignore the pain, you pull the small dart out of your wrist and look inside the box to find a small, solid copper ball that is etched with a dragon motif.
Okay, that's good.
You put it in your backpack, and so we might need to do
roll
that.
this. Let's roll this dice then. This is your turn to roll the dice.
Oh, I'm reading the page.
You can still do it. So if you roll
it wasn't a
you lose your
6.
skill point.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine then.
Right, so what do we have?
Put copper dragon ball. And then if you've not done so already, we can open the 3rd book. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
A small dragon ball. 152.
You begin turning the pages and soon realise that it is a book about the construction of Lord Carnus's dungeon. There are mentions of locks and in the bowels of the dungeon, and warnings about dragons and demons. Puzzled, wanting to learn more, you skip to the back of the book, where you find the floor plans for the dungeon. You recognise the entrance and the tunnel staircase and the corridor that led you to the library. On the next page you see that the east corridor you're in turns north and ends at what looks like a chute down the tunnel. The following page...
Okay.
So on the next page you see that the east corridor you are in turns north and ends at what looks like a chute down the tunnel.
Okay.
The following page shows that the north end of this tunnel has 2 rooms off it before coming to a rope bridge over a ravine.
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah.
The tunnel continues north with another room off it before ending at a T-junction. So
Yeah.
this is over the ravine, yeah?
Yeah.
The rooms on the left side of the tunnel are marked Candle Room and Spider Pit Room.
On the left.
Rooms on the left side of the tunnel. So write that down. Candle room and spider pit room.
Yeah.
The room on the right side is marked firewood room.
Firewood. Yeah.
You turn the page, but much to your annoyance, the remaining pages have been ripped out of the book. You put it back on the shelf and decide what to do. If you've not done so we can read all the books, or we can leave the library and continue up the corridor to 179.
Okay.
Okay. This is where we're going to leave it. So we've done all the library, we've read all the books, so we know kind of what to do and what not to do. I suppose the further we get, if we figure out if we need these copper balls and things, then we know if we need to go through opening any of these books at all. I suppose we do have the map written down now, if we decide to just skip that last book. But this has been part 1 of the Dungeon on Blood Island, a brand new book. It's crazy that they're still bringing out these books, and it's always just as fun to read new ones as it is to read the old ones. So having a great time reading it. You enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so yeah, can't wait to get back into it, and I foresee us dying pretty soon, but until that happens, we will continue adventuring. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back again with part 2 of the Dungeon on Blood Island very, very soon.